Okay, so a lot of shooters and enthusiasts get wrapped around the axle quite a bit when they're like trying to help their buddy diagnose things, like with their shooting. Like if it were a right-handed shooter and had a low left condition, or a left-handed shooter with a low right condition. And I hear a lot of guys talk about, trigger finger placement and how that makes such uh, a huge difference in point of aim versus point of impact. And I just wanted to kind of quickly analyze, is it truly finger placement, whether it's too deep, too shallow, those kind of things on the trigger, or is it more of the point of impact issues being more of a byproduct of not having enough support hand grip on the gun overall to be able to keep the sight still as the trigger is pressed. So I thought I would set up a quick little demonstration. I've got a target here as a white backboard, and I've got a bone box stock Gen 4 Glock 19 with the original stock kind of crappy Glock sights, and we're just going to do a demonstration to see if it is trigger finger or if it's lack of grip. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are in front of our white wall. We've got an empty Glock, no magazine in it, and you're going to see what I see. Now I'm going to grip the gun very loosely with my support hand just to see what kind of difference we have, or what kind of movement we have when I line the sights up. As you can see, as the trigger broke, the front sight does move this to the right a little bit. Now I'm going to increase grip tension on the support hand. So I'm going to take my support hand and I'm really going to wrap the gun like I would if I were shooting a string of fire. And here we go. Notice there's very, very little, if any, movement when I add or increase grip pressure with the support hand. So that right there kind of tells me that it's not necessarily trigger finger placement, but more so increasing grip tension to keep the gun solidly gripped and solidly mounted in our hands, keeps the sights from moving as the trigger is pressed, more so than what trigger finger placement is. So I can change that quite a bit. I'm going to change my grip completely and get my finger in almost as deep as possible. So we're talking beyond the second distal joint of the finger. But I'm going to grip the gun solidly again, line the sights up. And by increasing that grip pressure, you'll notice the sights don't move at all, or as little as possible. So it's not really a question of trigger finger placement as far as how that causes the shots, in a left-hander's case to be, say, low right, or a right-handed shooter's to be low left. Trigger finger placement means really nothing in the grand scheme of things, as much as a solidly supported gun with a support hand. So just like I tell people in class all the time, the strong hand grips the gun hard, but just hard enough to be able to allow full dexterity in the trigger finger. The support hand is just that. It's as the name implies, it's support. It is the main support for the gun. So getting that support hand on the gun and wrapped on the gun very, very strongly and firmly, and gripping it as hard as absolutely possible with the support hand really cinches the gun in tight, and the sights can't move as you actuate the trigger. I can also do that instead of just trying to stage the trigger. I can slap the trigger, and very, very little movement happens with the sights. So you want to get better at shooting, it's all in the grip, not so much the trigger finger.